Okay, let's come into a seated position. We're going to do some Kundalini Yoga. So sit up really tall. We're going to tune in, rub your hands together, press your palms in your chest. We're going to chant Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Hold the breath. Look up at that point between the brow. Exhale. Adgyudename, Chigadgyudename, Satgyudename, Siddhigurudev Namain. Adgyudename, Chigadgyudename, Satgyudename, Siddhigurudev Namain. Adgyudename, Chigadgyudename, Satgyudename, Siddhigurudev Namain. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, let's come into a standing position. So those chants, they create an intention for our practice. Let's stand in mountain pose. So that helps us create a container for our practice when we chant that mantra, and also uplinks us to ourselves and to our higher selves and to the golden chain of teachers. So it's a really great chant to do before Kundalini Yoga. So we're in mountain pose, we're standing up really tall, looks really easy, but you're making sure your knees are over ankles, hips are over knees, roll your shoulders back and down, slightly tuck your chin in. We're standing up really tall, creating lots of space in between our vertebra, because all day long our vertebrae get compacted, so gravity packs our vertebrae down, we get shorter. So we're lengthening here. Tuck that chin in. You can roll your shoulders back and down a couple times. This is so important because all day long we're on our phones, we're on our computers, we're like this, all hunched over. So you want to feel the expansion across your chest, and then take a deep breath. So take a couple more deep breaths. So this is the best part of the yoga, the breath. So when we do our postures, we're going to inhale, push the belly out, exhale, push the belly in, and this is so important because our breath oxygenates our cells, it oxygenates our brain, and so it gives us energy and gives us a clearer mind and just gets rid of all of this like brain fog and clears us out. The oxygen is so important, and it has the prana, the life force energies, so that's what we care about is the breath. So inhale, exhale, keep doing that. You can put one hand on your belly if you'd like. Maybe your breath is really short and you can't even take a long breath. Maybe your chest is tight. Just take as deep a breath as you can. Inhale, push your belly out. Exhale, push your belly in. These are our rest and digest breaths. So usually we're running around just being in fight or flight mode. So when we breathe like this, when we inhale and push our belly out, we actually have a vagus nerve that's just attached to our belly, and the vagus nerve that, that's okay. The vagus nerve.
I thought you were a model.
Oh, oh, how funny.
You were so still.
I'm teaching yoga. Okay, so breathe in and out, push your belly out, exhale, push your belly in. There was someone at the door, sorry. Okay. He thought it was fake because I'm just standing here breathing. Inhale and exhale, standing up so tall in mountain pose. Okay, let's warm up our spine. So let's do some hip rolls. So hands on your hips and then come forward. And then we'll do 3 to the left. So to the left, to the back, to the right, down, over to the left, to the back, to the right, down. One more time, to the left, to the back, to the right, down, and then come back up. We're gonna do that on the other side. So come forward. So we're stretching the spine here. We're hitting all the different angles of the spine. We can go left, right, forward, back. This is really important because this means that we have a really mobile spine without any pain. We're just moving our spine around. Maybe you do have pain, but at least you're doing it, and that's all that matters, and it's going to help you be pain-free. So let's add another one. So we're keeping our hips straight and really just trying to move our spine around, and then come back to mountain pose. Feet together, stand up really tall. Tuck your chin in. You want to feel like a string being pulled through the top of your head. Okay, let's do eagle pose. Actually, let's do some shoulder rolls. So we'll do 5 to the back. And then we'll do 5 to the front. And then come back to mountain pose. Okay, let's do eagle pose now. Right arm up, left arm comes under, and then the right foot comes over the left. And this is a balancing pose. So find that point in front of you to help you balance. Make sure you're breathing. And then release that. Shake that out if you need to. Let's do that on the other side. So left arm comes up, right arm comes under, the left foot comes over. So find that point in front of you to help you balance. Make sure you're taking those yogic breaths. And then release that, shake that out if you need to. Come back to mountain pose. Okay, let's do our extended side angle. So right foot comes out, left foot comes back. The heel is lined up with the middle of the left foot. And you're gonna bring your forearm to your thigh, palm faces up. And then inhale, stretch your arm up over your head. So really feel the lengthening through the left side. If anything feels tight, just send your breath to those tight spaces. If you feel like the left shoulder is falling down, open up through that left shoulder. And then circle the arm down, bring the left foot forward. Shake that out if you need to. We're going to do that on the other side. So bring your left foot forward, your right foot comes back at an angle, your heel is lined up with the middle of the left foot, and then palm faces up. Inhale, bring your arm up and over your head. So feel the stretch all down the right side. Really feel the right side lengthening. Really open through that right shoulder. If you feel like your shoulder is getting compacted, open up through the right side. And then bring your right arm down. Bring your right foot forward. Shake that out if you need to. Okay, let's do a back bend. Left foot comes forward, the right foot comes back into like a little mini lunge. Our hands are at our heart. And then we're gonna inhale, reach back. Really reaching through the rib cage so that way we protect our low back. Take some deep breaths here. Inhale, reach back. Exhale. Inhale, reach back. Exhale. Inhale, reach back further. Exhale. And then come forward, hands come to your heart, come back to mountain pose. Hands equal by the side. This is Tadasana. Mountain pose, this is grounding. We're grounding ourselves into our mat. We're bringing our awareness back into the present moment, back into our bodies. Taking those yogic breaths. Inhale, push your belly out. Exhale, push your belly in. Okay, let's come back to mountain pose facing forward. If you need to, we're gonna do neck rolls. If you need to face forward, I did so I could see you. So neck rolls. Bring your chin to your chest and we'll do 3 to the left. Then when you're finished, bring your head back to the center. Let's switch sides. Bring your chin to your chest. We'll do 3 to the right, just take your time. Then come back to mountain pose. And then we're gonna come to the front of our mat. We're gonna do a forward fold. So inhale, reach up really tall. Just stay here for a minute. Take some deep breaths, really reach up. And then exhale, come forward, bending at the hips. Take some deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Just let your head go. Let your neck go. You can shake your head yes and no if that feels good. Make sure you're breathing. If anything feels tight, just send your breath to those tight spaces. See with every exhale if you can get your chest a little bit closer to your thighs. Just want to feel the stretch in the back of the legs, in your back. And then from here, we're gonna come back to downward facing dog. So feet hip width apart, hands hip width apart. Drive your heels down towards the mat. Lengthen your spine. Pedal your feet left and right. Really drive your heels down towards the mat. Take a big inhale. Exhale. And then from here, come onto your knees, push back into child's pose. Take some deep breaths here. Okay, let's come up into a seated position and we're going to do some cat-cow. We're going to do our 3 minutes of cat-cow. This balances all 8 of the chakras in the yogic system, the Kundalini Yoga system. So this, we do this as much as possible because it balances the chakras and it brings all of the energy into the body, and it's really great for our skin and it really oxygenates us. So we inhale, look up, exhale, chin to chest. And you can go slow or you can speed it up. Just do what feels best for you.
the beach बचावे but the beach बचावे but the beach बचावे सपना करता पूरे मेरा बोने लगा काल मुरे तजनी सावंगर परसाद जब आज सच जुगाड़ सच तेरी सच नानक हो सी भी सच नानक हो सी भी से हर सोगंदे जन जोगंदे बहु पंक्ति पचावे सत्र अनेक जलावत गावत तो तानेक न लगन पावे रागत है अपनों पर में घर पप संपन भेट न पावे वो की बात बहाक है तो सौ पे ही के पत बीच बचावे पत बीच बचावे पत बीच बचावे सतनाम करता पुरख मेरा बोने लगा काल मोरे गजनी सावंगर परसाद आज सच जुगाड़ सच तेरी सच नानक हो सी भी सच नानक हो सी भी सच नानक हो सी भी सच सोगंदे जोगंदे पंक्ति बचावे सत अनेक जलावत गावत तो तानेक न लगन पावे रागत है अपनों कर दे घर पप संपन भेट न पावे वो की बात कहा कहे तो सौ पे ही के पत बीच बचावे पत बीच बचावे सतनाम करता पुर मेरा बोने लगा काल मोरे गजनी सावंगर परसाद जब आज सच जुगाड़ सच तेरी सच नानक हो सी भी सच नानक हो सी भी से हर सोगंदे जन जोगंदे बहु पंक्ति पचावे
Inhale, look up. Exhale, really round through the back. And then push back into downward facing dog. Hands in prayer pose. Okay, let's come up into a seated position. We're going to do ego eradicator. So we're going to be doing breath of fire. So it's even an inhale through the nose like this. So you may need a tissue. Okay, and then our hands are going to be up on the top of the pads of the palm, and the thumb are out, and 60 degrees like this, and we're doing breath of fire, and we're sitting up really tall.
Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram har re har 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 re har 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 re har 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 ram sa re sa 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 re sa re sa re sa re sa sa ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa re sa re sa ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare hare ram. Sa re sa re sa ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare hare ram. Sa re sa re sa ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare hare ram. Sa re sa re sa ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare hare ram. Sa re sa re sa ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare hare ram. Sa re sa re sa ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare hare ram. Sa re sa re sa ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare hare ram. Sa re sa re sa ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare hare ram. Sa re sa re sa ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare hare ram. Sa re sa re sa ram. Hare re.
Inhale. Thumbs touch, stretch, hold the breath, pull the mula bandha, and exhale. Place your palms on the mat. Just take some deep breaths here. Okay, let's come onto our backs and let's come into a twist. Bring your knees to your chest first. Rock left and right. Give your organs a really good massage. And then bring your arms to a T and bring your knees over to the right. Bring your head over to the left. knees to the top, and then let's switch sides. Bring your knees to the left, bring your head over to the right. Bring your knees to the top. Bring your knees to the chest again. Take some deep breaths here. You can even try grabbing down by your ankles. Feel the stretch a little bit deeper in your back here. And then bring your knees down, bring your feet down to the mat. Bring your ankle, your right ankle over your left knee. Bring your knee in towards your chest. So breathe into that right leg. This is so good for sciatic pain. It's also really good for the life force energy, the nadis. This opens up the nadis. You have that center channel that goes from the base of your spine all the way up to the top of the head. It also connects to the legs. So just, you have a lot going on in this stretch. So take some deep breaths. It's a great time to activate your ujjayi breath, that windy breath. We're contracting the throat slightly, and that creates that windy sound in the back of your throat. And this also creates focus for our mind. Bring your focus to our breath. We can hear it and keep our mind focused on it. And then bring your foot down to the mat, switch sides. Bring your left ankle over your right knee. Bring your right knee into your chest. Again, this is opening up that center channel, the nadi. That's how the energy flows up our spine, from the base of our spine to the top of our head. That's how the Kundalini rises through those nadis, the center nadi, and then you have one on the left and one on the right. And they create a swirling pattern up the spine. They spiral in and out of the chakras. Looks very similar to DNA, which is the basis of our cell replicating, and so it's very similar to the energetic spine, these nadis, because that's how the energy moves from chakra to chakra. They're all connected. This is a really muscle right here, connected from the spine to the legs. You have a nerve that runs back there. So physically and energetically, this is a really big stretch. So just breathe. If anything feels tight, just send your breath to those tight spaces. release that. Bring your knees into your chest. And then from here, let's rock and roll into a seated position. And let's come into our addiction meditation. So sit up really tall. Our fingers are gonna come up on the pads of our palms. Our thumbs are gently resting on the temples. We're mentally chanting Sa, Ta, Na, Ma, while we clench our back molars. Eyes closed down, we're looking at the point between the brow.
Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Namo Namo, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Namo Namo, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Namo Namo, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti.
Inhale. Look up at the point between the brow. Exhale. Okay, let's come onto our backs. And then let's come into bridge pose. So bring your feet as close to your butt as you can, and then inhale, lift your pelvis up. And then come down one breath at a time. And then bring your knees into your chest. We're going to come into fish pose. So palms are on the mat, and we're going to use our forearms to lift ourselves up. We're pushing into the mat. We're going to come onto the top of our head, and we're going to point our toes. So inhale, come up under your elbows. Take some deep breaths here. And then lift up and come down. Bring your knees into your chest to release that. And then let's come up into a seated position, and we're going to come into a half spinal twist. So bring that right foot over the left, and bring your right hand behind you. Bring your elbow to your knee. Sit up really tall. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Look to the right as far as you can. We are increasing the twist with our eyes. And then release that, look forward. Let's switch sides. So bring the left knee over the right. Bring your elbow to your left knee. Bring your hand behind you. Sit up really tall. Inhale. Twist to the left. Deepen your twist by looking as far to the left as you can. And then come to the center. And then let's come back into child's pose. Let's take some deep breaths here.
Pavana, pavana, para para, pavan guru, wahe guru, pavan guru, pavana, 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 para para, pavan guru. Pavana, 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 para para, pavan guru. Pavana, 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 pavana. Pavana, Para Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru, Pavana Pavana, Pavana Pavana, Para Para, Pavan Guru, Pavana Pavana, Pavana Pavana, Para Para, Pavan Guru.
Okay, let's come into Shavasana. So let's come onto our backs. Palms face up. Let your feet fall to each side. Focus on your breath. Inhale, push the belly out. And exhale, push the belly in. Notice that your mind is caught in thought. Just come back to the breath. notice that your mind has wandered back into thinking. Just make note, thinking, and then bring your attention back to the breath. Gently start to wiggle your fingers and toes. And bring your arm up over your side, over your head, and roll onto your side. And come up into a seated position. Eyes closed, bring your hands to your heart. We're going to chant Sat Nam 3 times. So inhale. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat